I'm Tyler.
I'm Shorty.
I'm Miles.
I'm Kara.
And we are the Inner Idiot.
The following podcast has strong language, violence, and other things you probably shouldn't let your children listen to. Please enjoy. Hey, Ty, if you wanted to make a podcast, how would you do it?
Spotify Podcasters app, of course. Or hell, even the website.
Do they have any way you can edit audio and help with organizing your episodes?
All that and more. You can reach out to listeners and have feedback with their Q&A feature, and it distributes it to all other major places you listen to podcasts.
I just looked, and they got a video podcast set up and editing tools here, too.
So all you got to do is sign up at SpotifyForPodcasters.com or get the app, and you're done.
Damn, it's just that easy.
Drop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, because it ain't wet from sweat, and we ain't done yet. We don't want you choking from all this joking, but I may choke on all this phlegm, because obviously I got a sexy, sick voice going on today. Welcome to Inner Idiot Podcast. I am your host, the big, the bald, the beautiful, the brash, the bumbling, and the oftentimes bastardly MC Tyler Havlin, and I talk slow, and I walk slower.
2 claps and Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo!
Golly.
Woo! All right, next up is the Lord that's never bored, the commander of the comic books. He's the maestro of metal. He ain't got a shirt on, and that's just for you ladies. He's been pegging kitty and grabbing titty since I don't know when. 2 claps and Ric Flair for Lord Shorty fresh in the flesh.
Woo! Is that me coming through like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you screaming.
That's a hell of a woo, my guy. Woo.
He's excited about it,
I know.
and I
I'm
appreciate
pumped to
it.
be here, guys.
Yeah, we're pumped to have you. But it's look, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a moose. 2 claps and Ric Flair for Amos from Moose Lounge Podcast. Woo!
Woo!
You know, if you say Amos, it's like Amos. I don't know.
Yeah. That's actually where the nickname come from.
Is it really?
Yeah. They called me Amos for 25 years of my life. And then one day
I didn't even think Amos was your actual name. I was like, oh, that's just the nickname. That's a clever play, and just kept on with my life. See, I don't ask questions. My name's Shorty, so I don't say nothing.
Right. No, but I come in work hungover one day, and I was outside smoking a cigarette, and they said, "I bet you drink like a goddamn fish." And someone said, "No, fuck that. He drinks like a moose." And then after that, it was just moose. So I was like, all right, cool. We'll do it.
I like it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, moose are giant. You are not a small man.
Right.
Moose.
Right.
Meese are big. Is it moose? Is it moose? Is it meese? What's the plural here?
I think it's just moose.
It is moose.
Yeah, there's a bunch of moose. I don't think you say meese.
I don't like it either, because there's goose and geese,
Right.
Yeah.
mice and meese.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no. Mice is the plural.
I know.
Mouse is the singular.
I understand.
Meese sounds cool though.
It does sound cool.
And I'm over here shaking my head like, yeah, meese. That's it. Bunch of mice.
Oh, all right. So when we have guests on, we just tell embarrassing or funny stories. But seeing as this the day after 4th of July that we're recording this, it's not going to release on the 4th of July. So those of you listening on Spotify, this happened a while back. So yesterday I wake up, right?
Yeah.
And I contemplate unemployment because I had to work, and that's something I do every day when I wake up before I go to work. Is how good would my life be?
You only contemplate it on days that you work?
Yeah, because I have to fight with myself to go in. And then I do my daily thing of I make a list of things I don't want to happen in the day. Yesterday's list was wear pants, adult, and be manhandled by an orangutan that had titties like my grandma. But then I realized that it's also the 4th of July. So, I should probably make some kind of, special plans for the day. So I thought, all right, well, later on when I masturbate, I'll put the national anthem on in the background. I'll wear a pair of American flag pit vipers, and I'll find like the best Statue of Liberty porn parody I can.
What is a pit viper?
It's in like, they're the big sunglasses. Like, I don't know. They're not two separate lenses. It's all one lens.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Usually people with mullets wear them.
Yeah.
It's like something Tiger King would wear. But
gotcha.
I can
Every
wear
time I see a mullet, I just think of like, you are definitely a middle school dropout.
I'm here for it. I'm with you on that one. So I get to work and we have our morning meeting. I go in the morning meeting like I don't want to fucking be there. Like, yada yada. We get through the meeting. I leave. I grab a Coke. That's what I do in the morning. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go take my pre-poop poop. So, yeah, it's something I do every morning. It's a ritual, so to speak.
Pre-poop poop?
Yeah, pre-poop poop. It's like shitting if I need to, but it's a precursor to the shit that might come later on.
Kind of get your body ready.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the warm up, like just in case there's anything in there that needs to come out right now before the rest is like good to come out the oven.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
All right, well anyways, you're missing the point here. So I take my pre-poop. I'm sitting there and it's like half pooping, half scrolling on my phone, half hitting my vape, because that's what cool kids do in the bathrooms. And don't worry about the math. If math's right, if you don't think about it, don't worry about my fractions here. So I realize, I ain't got to really poop. So I get done scrolling my phone. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I get up, I walk over to the sink, and I lean over to wash my hands. And I look up in the mirror, and lo and behold, there is a Papa Roach pile driving a Mama Roach right on my fucking back, right? Like they was on a camping trip with me, just fucking orgy on my back, cockroaches. Bro, I fucking channeled my inner Chip and Dale. Well, I'm fat, so it was my inner Chip and Dip. So fast. I'm telling you, when I tell you I magic mic'd my clothes off with a fucking quickness, my clothes were on this nasty ass bathroom floor with cockroaches in them. And now I ran out the bathroom, didn't wash my goddamn hands. My orangutan titties are out. So fuck it. Good thing we don't work at a zoo, or else I'd have been manhandled for sure at that point. I mean, it's a good thing I fucking leave clothes in my car because, I wasn't going back in there for them. Them clothes belong to the cockroaches.
A guy who talks about wanting to have sex in weird spots all the fucking time, specifically camping with a bunch of other people, you're pretty against fucking cockroaches having their time.
Yeah, dude, I don't need them fucking
You can just fucking brush it off, dog.
I tried to real quick, and they fucking, they must have changed positions. And then they were out of my reach.
Shame on you, Ty. Ruin a fuck fest.
They move kind of quick, and like when they're on something, they tend to cling on pretty good too, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So maybe taking off your clothes is the option.
Right. So now
go ahead.
Didn't even get to wash my hands.
That's gross.
But have you washed them since?
Oh yeah, I've had.
Okay.
I think.
What did your coworkers think when you come out of there bare naked?
Hey, it was a show for all. I mean, I still had pants on. I had like shorts on under my pants.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it was
You
good.
wear underwear, shorts, pants.
Yes, because my pants
Fucking heathen.
Dude, my pants have so many holes in them, and sometimes the underwears get holes.
Did you buy them like that, or did they just get like that?
No, those holes were earned.
Okay.
They weren't bought and paid for. They were earned.
All right.
Yeah, so that's my story for the day. Amos, you got one for us?
I actually do. I do. I got one pretty similar. It doesn't involve cockroaches, but it involves bugs. So about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I was working for a cable company here in Lexington. And I had just finished training. I was out on my own. This was one of my first 10 solo jobs that I had on my own. I get to this house. There's 2 guys in the house. They want a full install. I got to rewire the whole house for cable. They had satellite, so I had to do an aerial drop from the pole to the house. And then they wanted like 3 different outlets throughout the house. One in each bedroom, one in the living room. I was like, okay. And of course, it was all still wired for satellite. So I had to take out all the old wire and put in all new cable wire. So it involved me going underneath the house. And I hate going underneath houses.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, my size, and you never know what you're going to see underneath that damn thing. Like, you don't know. And you've seen all sorts of stuff. You don't know if it's going to be super muddy. You don't know if you're going to see possums, snakes,
Sure.
Anything.
Let me just say, if you run into a snake, you got a size what shoe?
20.
You just whip out your own goddamn snake at that point and just see whose is bigger. Like, here, you really want to fight this motherfucker?
Sit there and smack it. But anyway, so I removed the cover to the crawl space, and I seen some bugs scurry up underneath there. So I'm like, all right, there's a couple bugs under there, no big deal. So I was like, I'll wait. I'll get about halfway underneath the house, and then I'll turn my little headlamp on, and then I'll assess the situation, right? So I get up underneath there, and I make about halfway underneath the house, and I turn my headlamp on. And I don't see nothing. As a matter of fact, this place is fucking clean. I was like, damn, I said, this ain't too bad. Then I look up at what would be the ceiling or underneath the house.
The floor, yeah.
The floor. And I look up, and have you all seen Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom?
Yeah.
All right. When Indian Short Round goes into that little room and the ceiling comes down, and then the blonde chick has to reach her hand through the wall of bugs to hit the lever?
Yeah.
The whole wall or the whole ceiling was covered in cave crickets.
Nice.
Like, not just above me, but just the whole underneath. Everywhere. There was probably 1 million of them.
Nice.
And at that moment, I questioned everything, every choice I've ever made in life. I just recently left college. I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? I should have went back to school. Why did I quit my family business? I should have stuck with that. I just was questioning everything. Why the hell am I doing cable work? I'm too goddamn big for this shit. And here I am underneath the house with the Temple of Doom above my head. And I was just like, I flipped. And I got the hell out of there. I got out. I went to my truck. I called about 3 different people. I was like, look, guys, I need help. And the first 2 people that I called, they were like, look, man, we're swamped. I can't do it. I can't help you. And I was like, motherfucker. I was like, well, I'm not going by myself. I can't do it. It's too much crawling. Like, I was like, there's no way. I was like, these crickets are going to fall on me. I'm going to flip. I was like, it's just not going to happen. So I called a buddy, another guy, and he said, I'll be over there. Give me 20 minutes. I said, perfect. So he comes over there. And of course, I did not tell him that there was a ceiling of crickets.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we both get underneath there, and then he looks up and goes, God damn, Amos. He goes, there's a bunch of crickets. He goes, man, look at all these bugs. He said, I'm not going to lie, Amos. He said, if one of these fall on me, he goes, I'm going to scream like a little bitch. And I said, yep. I said, me too. He goes, I said, I won't tell if you won't tell. He said, okay, good. So I was like, cool. So he helped me out, and we did it. But I questioned every little life decision I ever made at that point. So
a few takeaways from this story. The first one being, what happens under the house stays under the house with you and your homies.
Yes, sir.
Number 2, what's a cave cricket?
I think it has like a little spiky thing on the tail of it. I'll show it to you real quick.
And
go ahead.
Third, what is the family business?
My family owns a meat shop in Lexington called Critchfield Meats.
Oh, okay.
And that's a whole nother story. We don't have to get into it. But I worked there for 10, 15 years, and that's it.
It's not showing up, but Shorty showed me.
Okay.
And third, what did you go? Or fourth, maybe I need to go to college and learn my numbers. What'd you go to college for?
Well, what I was going to college for actually leads me into my second embarrassing story.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So All right. So at one point in life, I thought I wanted to be a youth minister.
Okay.
So when I graduated college or when I graduated high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I just thought shit would happen,
Shit.
jobs would fall into place, things like that. And I ended up being an intern at my church. And I was a youth minister intern, and that involved going to like summer camp and doing things like that. So one of the stories in the Bible involved like Jesus sitting there and washing his disciples' feet
Yeah.
before he got crucified and all that.
Mhm.
It was to be like humble yourself and different things like that. So I was teaching the kids this story, and I actually had a giant tub of soapy water, and I went around and washed each one of these kids' feet.
Oh, I
Well,
thought you were gonna say you made the kids wash your feet.
No. I mean, I washed each one of their
That's an
feet.
hour and a half job, bro.
Well, I had a giant sponge, and
Okay,
I mean,
a
it wasn't
half
like
hour.
it wasn't scrubbing. It was like 2 swipes and you're done.
Child
But
labor laws.
I had on. I didn't wear a belt, so my pants were always sagging. So I'm over here trying to pull this damn bucket and hold my pants up at the same time and get the sponge and all this stuff. My pants fell down. Like I'm right in the middle of it all, and I'm teaching everyone about how to be humble and stuff like that. And man, my pants just dropped in front of all
Yeah,
like
you got
20,
you
25
got humbled
kids.
real quick.
You're right, I did, man. I was like, so yeah. But I mean,
Were you kicked out after that?
no. I didn't get kicked out. No. They all laughed and I laughed, and then I went and put on some shorts that fit.
They didn't laugh too hard though, did they?
No. They didn't laugh too hard. No.
Okay.
But the college thing didn't work out for me. So
Yeah, you didn't like it or what?
yeah, kind of like that. I just decided, after a couple years into it, I was like, maybe this isn't the path that I need to go. But then I was playing basketball when I went there too, so that was fun. But
Should have stuck with it, you fucking giant.
yeah, well,
Yeah, man, you could have been like Shaq, brother. I mean, you ain't quite that tall. How tall
Oh
are you?
no, 6'10".
60. My lord.
Yeah. So Shaq's 4 inches taller than I am.
That's crazy because I've stood next to you and I felt like a child,
I know.
like a really chubby child. How'd you feel standing next to a moose?
Well, normally the way I feel against most people is like I can rest my head comfortably on their shoulder. It's never been like I can rest my head comfortably on their thigh.
Yeah, but with him, it could. Dude,
Like, oh yeah, that's Moose, and I'm like, yeah, that makes fucking sense.
right? Just rest it on your head. So,
Get away from me.
Man, a youth minister is a long way from where you're at right this second.
Oh, I know. You're telling me.
Sitting on this show, man. But
Yes, sir. I mean, here, look at this.
I mean, I'm not far off that exact path, bro.
and we've had Josh Williams on. Mm-hmm. Dude, there's been a lot of God that's come through here.
God comes a lot.
Oh, we can't make me laugh too hard. I'll
Yeah.
go into a coughing fit today.
Sorry. Because, I mean, like, I was doing that same thing. I was volunteering at fucking camps and stuff with our local church and stuff like that, and all kinds of shit. I got voluntold to do a lot more than I actually wanted to.
Voluntold, I like that.
Did you grow up in the church, Amos?
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah.
I went. I don't know. This is the path you want this show to go. I was. I went on a mission trip 20 years ago. I guess 20 years ago.
Sure.
About 20 years ago to an Indian reservation, and I don't know, man. Once again, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was still the intern at the time, and when you're in that environment, you put yourself out there. You pray a lot, and you. I don't know. You kind of feel like you're
Making
vulnerable.
a difference, yeah.
Yeah, and you're vulnerable to hear what God says. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I understand.
I was sitting there, and I don't sing like going to church. A big part of it singing. You sing hymns.
Yeah.
I sound like a cat getting beat in the back alley. You know what I'm saying? You're called in September.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And so I don't sing at all. So what I did, I just sat there and prayed. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the next day, one of the guys that was there at the reservation with me, he straight asked me. He said, "Man," he said, "what do you want to do with your life?" And I said, "I don't know." This was after that night in the service. I said, "Shoot," I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Well," he said, "obviously you don't want to play basketball." He goes, "Because otherwise you wouldn't be here. You'd be in a camp somewhere." And I said, "Well," I said, "I guess that's a good point." And he said, "Well, why don't you look into youth ministry?" And I was like, "Holy crap." I was like, "I just prayed about that last night." I was like, "Who the hell are you?" You know what I mean? So, when you, like I said, when you're in that environment, you tend to, I guess, be more vulnerable to things like that.
Yeah.
So then I went on that path, and then some other things happened when I was in college, and I decided that I didn't want to continue down that path. So I left. I quit. Here I am today. So
nah, man, I grew up fairly skeptical to the whole fucking thing, and like, don't get me wrong, I still have my faith and I still have my beliefs or whatever, but like, there was a lot of like silly shit that happened around me, and I'm like, man, you guys can't be legit. Like, nobody does this.
Right.
Yeah. Fucking
Josh Williams says all the cool kids get kicked out of Bible school.
Dude, like, I remember
I was definitely kicked out.
We went to, it was some big Christian concert, dude. I don't remember who was playing, what was going on, but me and my buddy Gary are in there fucking like, I think we were there to see Skillet.
Okay.
And we're in there rocking out. We got our fucking, our rock fists up and stuff like this. Some guy stops us in the middle of the concert and says, "Hey, man, that's the devil's sign." And I was like, "Hey, man, you're killing my vibe." And I turn around. He's like, No, let me pray with you. And I was like, "Hey, bro, I'm watching a concert." Like, yeah. And he was like, No, this is important. I was like, "This concert's important. Get to me afterwards. Like, I'm not here for it." I ended up cussing the dude out. Like, I told him to get the fuck away from me.
Wow.
Because, like, God's cool. I'm here for it. Just don't fuck with my vibe.
Don't fuck with my vibe. All right. Well, that's it for our first segment today, people. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. If you want to hear the rest of this episode.
Thanks for showing up late, Josh.
Yeah, Josh. If you want to listen to the rest of this episode in its entirety, it will be dropping on Spotify, not tomorrow, but the following Thursday. So July 5th. So like July 13th or something like that. But anyways, we love you, Face World. We're going to take a little pause for the cause. I hit stop over here at this time.
Do you love podcasts? Of course you do. That's why you're here. But you know what's even better than listening to a podcast? Making your own. That's right, and Anchor makes it simple. I'm your favorite host, MC Tyler Havlin, and I'm telling you, go download the Anchor app today, Anchor FM. They have all the tools you need to get started today. And best part is, it's totally free. They push it out to all the major platforms like Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. So get started today, people. Go download the app, Anchor FM. I'll wait. Do it now.
And we're back with Moose Lounge Podcast. And we're going to talk about some stuff you got going on. And we're going to talk about your show and how we can find you and all that good shit.
All right. But, well, we interview the individuals that turn passions into careers, or at least have tried or are on that path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all started with my brother-in-law. He was wanting to go to college. He's a very hands-on person. Hell, he's been changing my oil in my truck since he was 12. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
He's been real handy around the house. He's installed my dishwashers. He's put it in the bathtub. He's been part of a tree. He's had his own mowing business since he was 10. You know what I mean? So That's my bad.
Oh, you're good.
So he's very handy. He's very knowledgeable about a lot of different things. And when it came time to go to college, my wife was like, you don't necessarily have to go to college. Like, you could go to a technical school,
A trade school.
be done in trade school, be done in 2 years, come out with maybe a quarter of the debt, and then be straight. Yeah. Well, of course, he wants to be an engineer, so he needs to go to college. But his wife was like, no, or not his wife. His mom was like, no. Don't listen to her. She's wrong. And my wife was like, I'm not wrong. She's always right. So
you got this. You got this covered.
Yeah. So then I was like, well, you know what? I was like, if you don't know because when I graduated high school, like I said on the other part, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I ended up wasting 4 or 5 years and a lot of money on my part. So if I had somewhere to listen to or someone to tell me how they did something, then maybe I could have come up with a better idea. I kicked myself in the butt for not going into the military. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's how it started. I wanted to start this to help individuals maybe find a career path by listening to people who has taken a hobby, who's taken a passion and turned it into a career. Because, people say if you're doing something that you love, then you never work a day in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, why not? So, we've had several different people on. We've had you on. I think you're one of the closest podcasters to turn this thing into a career. I really do. I'm pulling for y'all. So,
thank you.
Yeah. One of my favorite ones to listen to. That's for damn sure.
You're so sweet.
Like I told you, I listened to all of them, man, and I'd binge listen to them too. And I'd wake up one morning or every morning back when I was trying to lose weight.
We cannot be that entertaining.
I think you are so
well,
funny, dude.
Fucking bless your heart and bless your ears.
But I'd be walking the dogs, and y'all do the 2 claps and a Ric Flair. And I swear to God, I'd clap and I'd woo, and the dogs would look at me and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
The dogs, the neighbor, everybody.
So, but
have you listened to us while in bed with the old lady during the fun time? No. That's when you really need to test this theory. Woo at climax. So maybe like 3/4 of the way through, hit play. Like, hold on, honey, I'm about to come. Let me hit play.
Woo, 2 claps and Ric Flair smack the ass, pop, pop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She'll thank us later.
Not gonna lie, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, dude.
Not listening to us fucking talk.
Right.
Smacking and woo.
Yeah. Next time I have sex, I'm 2 claps and Ric Flair in it. It's happening.
Hey, some people, that's all it takes is 2 claps, right?
Yeah. I mean, if the booty's right.
Right. So, but coming up next on the 15th, we got a guy named Jason. He takes pictures of beer at a local brewery down here. So we're going to have him come on and talk about that, about how he got involved into getting paid to take pictures of beer. Like, what? Sign me up. I will do that. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, beer photography is very lucrative these days.
Right.
It really is, man. You should see some of the stuff these people are coming up with.
Yeah.
Like, they take these beers and they'll find some way to like integrate. There's one especially that I like. They find a way to integrate it with comic books.
Okay. Oh, really?
And they take, you've probably heard of them, Hops Geeks News, Matt Roth and Lauren something. I can't remember her last name. They're great. But they find really neat ways to like set up scenes with a beer and maybe like a comic book cover or some action figures or something. And
sure.
It looks really neat, dude.
That's cool.
Huh.
That's cool.
They do it a lot with like Disney stuff too.
That sounds ridiculous.
Dude, it's lucrative.
I don't know, man. Like, dude, some of these like food advertisers and fucking, I guess now beer advertisers and shit like that, all these like slut photos of food and beer and shit. Like, man, that's a good looking cheeseburger. And then you buy the cheeseburger and you're like, I'm so disappointed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I feel like it's that. Like, get a kick in your throat as you swallow this beer down. fucking featuring Superman in the background, and then you drink it and you're like, man, this tastes like hot piss.
Well, I mean, you're not supposed to drink many beers warm.
I don't know, bro. I don't drink.
I know.
And I ate a burger the other day that Superman would have been proud of.
Yeah, let's hear about that burger shit.
I had some friends come down from North Carolina, and down there they have a place called Loosey Goosey, and I guess they take 2 patties and they stuff cheese inside of it and put the other patty on top of the one. And I was sitting there patting the burgers out, and one just come up smaller than the other one. And I was like, well, I guess you're going to be a double. So, and I used beer cheese, and I stuffed that thing with some beer cheese, and that was my burger, and it was damn delicious, man.
So
I loved it.
You put the cheese inside the meat, then like make the patty around the cheese.
Yes, sir.
This sounds like a plan,
That sounds so good.
especially with the
delicious.
beer cheese.
I don't know about all that.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite kind of cheese?
The one on my burger.
The one on your burger.
Yeah. Pepper jack cheese.
What's your favorite cheese, Shorty? You don't have a favorite?
Provolone. I like Swiss.
He's got a mouthful of cookie right now, so I made sure to ask him. Dude, Havarti and Gouda.
Havarti and Gouda.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
I do like a good Gouda.
I feel like Havarti is just like a really fancy Swiss cheese, though. But I love it. Yeah,
And
Brie,
brie
provolone,
cheese.
provolone, Swiss. Pepper jack's not bad.
Yeah.
You don't like the spice, though.
No,
I've never met somebody so anti-spicy as you are.
I am a giant vagina.
I like the thumbs up at the end.
Yeah. I might be right there with you when it comes to spice, Shorty. If I got to sweat to eat it, I don't fucking want it.
Exactly right.
Here's my thing with spice. I like spicy, but I don't like spicy just for the sake of being spicy.
Right.
I like some of the flavors, like Caribbean jerk is a really good flavor. It just happens to light my mouth on fire. So the other day I'm eating some wings because my sister loves spicy food. She had some wings left. I ate them because I got home from work. I'm like, oh, you bitches got wings. Where's mine? So you can have the rest of mine. I'm thinking, oh, she got spicy. At least she didn't get nuggets. They had the bones. So I'm eating them and like I'm struggling through them, but they're good. It was spicy garlic. I know it doesn't sound spicy, but it was spicy as a motherfucker. And my 12-year-old comes in. She's like, Dad, quit being a pussy. I'm like, you eat one. This kid picked up a flat and put it in their mouth lollipop style and sucked everything off of it to the bone.
To do it.
And she's like, this ain't bad. 3 seconds later, she's dumping a gallon of milk in their mouth. Like, ha. Like, they started crying. Like, the rest of the night, they were on the shitter. Like, that's what you get for trying to be a hard ass.
All right, let me tell you this story real quick. Last segment, I was talking about being on a mission trip, right? Mm-hmm. We went to an Indian reservation, and I was sitting there talking to I didn't tell you this part, but he's a one-legged ex-Navy SEAL sniper Indian.
Okay.
This sounds like a hell of a combo.
Yeah, right. So he was a super cool dude. But I was sitting there talking to him, and for some reason we were talking about spicy stuff. And I told him that my dad was in Vietnam, and he told me that if I ever come across a habanero pepper, to turn and run the other way. And my dad loves spicy stuff. He said, but that habanero pepper was one of the hottest things he had ever had. And he said, don't eat one. I said, okay. So the Indian said, hold on one second. His name's Jerry. I'm not going to call him the Indian. So Jerry was like, hold on one second.
His name was Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry.
Well, that's kind of anticlimactic.
So he walks in, he comes out, and he has a whole gallon freezer bag of habanero peppers. I said, is that what that is? I said, is that a habanero pepper? He said, yep, pops one in his mouth. He goes, you want one? I said, no. I said, I think I'm good. And he pops another one in his mouth. He said, you sure you don't want one of these? I said, I just told you my dad said not to have one. He said, he pops another one in his mouth. I said, damn, this dude just ate 3 of them. And I'm sitting there looking at him, and he's not sweating or anything. And we're continuing talking. He pops another one in his mouth. This dude ends up eating 7 of these things. And I was like, all right, give me one of them. I was like, hell, he just downed 7.
Right.
So it can't be that hot. And I said, they're frozen.
Dude,
so
he was born spicy, bro.
Right, exactly. So I'm sitting there, and I bite the tip of this pepper. And they sit there and they thaw just a little bit. So a little bit of that juice hit the tip of my tongue and just lit me up. And I was like, I said, "Oh my God, Jay!" I said, "It's already kicking in, buddy." And he said, "We might as well down it now." He said, "It's only going to get worse." And I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "All right." So I eat the whole pepper, and like everything just got hot. Like I was hot, my eyes were hot, I was sweating, like I just jumped out of the shower. And I'd walked into the church that we were staying at, and the youth minister's wife and one of the sponsors was in there doing dishes. And I walked in there to go get some milk or some water or just something, and I couldn't speak. So I had to like smack the side of the refrigerator. And they said that when they turned around, my eyes were bugging out of my head, and I was just like, water, milk, something, please, God, yeah. And yeah, it was hot, and ever since then I can't do that hot. Like that was hot. And fast forward to a couple years ago for Christmas, we did chicken wings, and my mother-in-law calls me a big fat vagina for not liking the spicy stuff. She actually doesn't say it. She just calls me a wuss, but that's what she really wants to say.
That's what she means.
Yeah, that's what she wants to say. And like Mary, my mother-in-law will get the spiciest thing at like B-dubs and eat it, and she will eat it for the sake of being hot. I mean, it don't even matter for flavor for her. She just wants the hottest thing. And she knew that I was going to get, just regular ass buffalo wings.
But bone in, right? Not nuggets.
Well, yeah. Bone in for sure. So she made my wife's first, and she put on the habanero peach or the peach habanero sauce.
Oh, yeah.
And Marissa was sitting there eating that, and mine was still being cooked. So Marissa only ate 3, and she's like, "Here, you can have, these 2." And I was like, "Okay." So I take her 2 wings, and they're purple. And I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "I know these sons of bitches are about to be hot." You know what I mean? It's got habanero in the damn title.
And
I was like, it's going to be hot. Exactly. So I'm sitting there, and I'm not lollipopping it because I know it's going to be hot. So I'm sitting there eating it, turning it like I was doing my damn corn on the cob. And once again, my mouth just sets on fire. And like, but it tastes, the flavor was there on this one. Like you could actually taste that flavor, and then the heat set in. And then once that heat set in, I start sweating. And I'm only on the first damn wing. And I'm just like, God bless. I was like, they're going to look at me and be like, "Oh, you're a wuss, blah, blah, blah." And my wife's sitting there, and she mumbles, she's like, "God," she goes, "these wings are kind of hot." And she looks up at me, and like I got shit hanging out of my nose. I'm just like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh my God, Amos." She's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I didn't say nothing." I said, "I didn't complain about nothing." I said, "This is actually really tasteful." I said, "Yeah, it's hot." I said, "Give me them regular ones."
Have you guys ever seen the show Hot Ones?
Yes.
I want to do that show so bad.
Tabby said she wanted to do it with us, like actually come here and sit down with the 10 wings and do the sauces. I said, "I can't do it."
I want to go on the actual show.
Yeah.
Like for everybody to see how much of a pussy I am. I'll get the number 6 and be like, "Oh God."
I'm tapping out at 2.
At 2.
Yeah.
We actually have a spice expert coming in the studio here as soon as this episode's done, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's funny that we've gotten to spicy. But tell us about one of your next guests. I know you're pretty excited about a guest you have coming up for your show.
Yeah, at the end of the month, on the 29th, if everything works out perfect, we still got practically 3 or 4 weeks left. Riker Road, YouTube channel Riker Road's coming on. It's 2 brothers. They react to music. One's a metalhead, one's a hip hop head, and they react to music music videos. Super cool. They just broke 100,000 subscribers. I think maybe
nice.
100.
Cool.
Yeah, I think maybe 120 now. But we've been trying. I've been talking to them for a while, and when you get some of these YouTube people, I guess sometimes they just let it go to their head.
Yeah.
Because there's one that I tried to get, and he won't even respond. But he's so far up in that universe that.
Well, let's hear the name. Let's see if we can help you out.
Oh, it's No Life Shack.
No Life Shack?
Yeah, have you heard of him?
No.
He's got 4 million subscribers. He's one of the coolest ones. I've emailed him, I've messaged him. He don't respond, but we are set up with Riker Road to have them on at the end of the month, and we're super pumped to do that. So
That's cool.
yeah, super pumped to have them on, talk to them.
Make sure you drop that episode on the fan page. See if we can get some people to listen to it.
Okay, yeah, sure will. No, yeah, I'm super pumped to have them. They just seem like real cool, down to earth guys, brothers. I want to know, have they always been close as brothers? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably
I wanna
not.
know. Yeah, probably not.
They probably hate each other like every third day
Mm-hmm.
because that's how brother relationships work, I think.
Right.
That's how me and the brother I'm closest with work. But we used to play with Barbies together. It was great. Yeah, no lie.
Who was Ken? Who was Barbie?
Well, I'd use my X-Men characters and he'd use my sister's Barbies. If you're listening, bub, sorry to rat on us, but it
Did you guys
happens.
take Storm and Barbie and make them scissor?
No, but we should have. Back then, I didn't even know what the scissoring was. Dude, until I was introduced, like I was completely.
Until you were depraved,
Yeah.
you were not depraved.
Yeah.
You were an innocent little boy.
I was an innocent little boy, dude. I was shy. I didn't talk a lot. Like, I was not at all what you see today or what you hear today.
That's what I say. Now I can't get you to shut the fuck up.
Man, I thought cussing was bad. I thought everything was gross.
Ew, boobies, get out of here. Then he saw him and he was like, oh my God, boobies, get him over here.
That's what changed my life was titties.
Changed my life too, buddy.
Titties quite literally changed my life. And
Dude, I had a neighbor growing up that was just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And she had big old honkers. And like, I would walk around and I would mow people's lawns and shit and get paid or whatever. I would mow her lawn for free if she was in the backyard while she was sunbathing next to her pool. Like, that was like, she would come over and like offer to give me money. I'm like, no, it's okay, Carol. I don't need nothing. And then she'd give me a big old hug while she was in her bikini. That's all the payment I need, dude. Dude, I was like 11. I was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And to this day, like, that was the first love of my life right there.
Hell yeah.
Hands down.
Miss Carol, huh?
Miss Carol, yeah. She
Dang.
was like, 25, 26 or whatever. She's, fucking 14, 15 years older than I am.
Well, she might still be doable today. And now you stand a chance.
Oh, no. I have no idea what her last name is to even try to look her up.
You know where she used to live, though? Public record.
Yeah, just fucking go. Dude, that'd be so creepy. Could you imagine fucking...
An older woman might find that to be attractive.
Listen, when I was 12,
effort.
when I was 12 years old, I mowed your lawn, and I thought you were the hottest thing on God's green earth.
You took that initiative and tracked her down.
Can I plow you? Nah.
I need to know if the carpet matches the backyard. Mow.
I'll mow it too, please. That's gross. No, fuck that.
All right, I got one more
That's so
question
fucked
for you. Who has been your favorite guest that you've had so far?
You don't have to say Tyler.
Yeah, we're not in this conversation.
Shoot. I don't like saying my favorite guest. Now I don't have.
Can't do this.
Hey, if
No, I'll put it. No. I'll say this, and then I'll tell you a guest. Each guest that we have on brings different things to the table. We've had some guests on multiple different times. One of my favorites, who we've actually become friends with, is Chris Cook. He used to do the Hate to Think We Didn't podcast. Now he does Delta Force Gaming. He streams.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been a real good friend, a real good supporter, a real good Moose and Baby Buffalo go get it type guy, And the other one is another local one here, Jerry Hash. He does the Hash in and Out podcast. And he's actually just started coming back. He's had a rough 6 months. Had to move, and then he's had his brother pass away.
Oh, wow.
But he's just dropped 2 new episodes, and he's back, and I won't let him disappear again. and both of them are super supportive right here, local, 20 minutes away. Those two.
Good, man. And that's the thing about this community, man, is a lot of these shows out there are very supportive of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way you get your start is making friends with these other shows, and that's what really gets your name out there.
Right.
All right, quick question. This is gonna be a quick fire. What's your favorite bourbon?
Right off the top of my head, it'd be Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. It's cheap. It's easy to get. You don't have to sit here and hunt for it. $20.
Dope. All right. Well, with that, you have one last assignment, sir. I'm gonna say that's all we got. You're gonna say so in the meantime.
Oh, no. Can I do it?
You want to close it?
Yes, sir.
All right, then you're gonna take my part. I'll take your part. So that's all we got. So in the meantime,
In the betweens time.
If you ever want to make a sex tape and don't worry about it leaking online, put Disney music as the background. That way the lawyers will take care of it for copyright infringement.
cue the music. We out.